It's June 9th, 2011, Plattsburgh State Fieldhouse, Upper Ruger Street in Plattsburgh, and it's time again for the Business Expo, a place that is familiar to you if you ever watch hometown cable, and if you are a local businessman, and if you have ever been to the Fieldhouse during the Business Expo. It's an ongoing affair, has happened every year for a long time. The North Country Chamber of Commerce is very much involved in organizing it. Every year we keep saying it's bigger and better, and I think you all know the enthusiasm generated by Gary Douglas and the crew at the Chamber, which, by the way, spent a lot of the springtime underwater on North Margaret Street in Plattsburgh, and they had to actually change venues for a while. But we're here on June 9th for the Business Expo once again. An opportunity for us to speak to some of the area businessmen just to see what the tenor of opinion is about how business has been growing or not growing in the North Country over the last couple of years. It's a fun place to be. It's always a positive place to be, and you can't help but be caught up in the enthusiasm of the moment. So spend some time with us today as we go around and talk with the local business people whom I'm sure you'll be proud to shop with or do business with in the future. Boy, this is a familiar corner, Gary Douglas.
Yes, it is. 20 years.
20 years.
That I've been here.
And you haven't changed one bit.
No, neither of you. Neither of you.
Not 1 ounce, and we both lie right through it.
We're both getting younger.
So how does it feel to be doing it again? It seems like last Tuesday that we did it last year.
It does. The years do go by fast.
Wow.
But our staff, Judy Parks in particular, has done another great job. Got a full house here, about 300 booths.
Do we have 300?
Yeah, a couple thousand people will come through here during the course of the day. Great place to do business.
And you know, I just whispered into the microphone a few minutes ago about your enthusiasm coupled with my enthusiasm, and we can't help but walk around here with our feet just a little bit off the ground. We've had some rough couple of years, and now with the floods. Are you back in your office?
No, we're not back yet. They've removed the lower part of the walls and the carpet and all of that. We're drying the place out. Work is going to start on Monday. We hope to be back in about 3 weeks.
For the people who are watching this who don't live in Plattsburgh, you'd have to be living under a rock not to know that we had record high levels of lake water.
Yeah, the thing that happened at the Chamber facility, which actually is above the flood level, it's actually that little mini tsunami we had where the lake water blew over Route 9 and into our property and right in our front door.
Yeah, people outside the area, and we won't get into all the meteorological finesse stuff about it, but it's the wind. It was the wind that drove us crazy.
We were fine until that big wind that day.
Yeah. So things are getting better.
We'll get back to normal.
In so many ways.
We never missed a beat.
I know you didn't. I know you wouldn't. Obviously, this North Country business community is enthusiastic about what's going to happen in 2011, and they'll show it here today.
I think that's absolutely true. We're not recession-proof. We know some folks out there are hurting. We know that unemployment is higher than any of us want it to be, but I think there's still a strong confidence that we have the right things in place here in the North Country, and we're going to come out of it fine.
And in spite of what some people might say, Laurentian is going to be here.
We are going to do aerospace at Plattsburgh. There's no question about that.
There was never any question in my mind. There are always.
We are Montreal's U.S. airport, and we are going to develop aerospace.
These things are always so complicated. I don't think people realize how many I's there are to dot and T's to cross.
Well, you know, a simple little $200 million deal.
Is that all?
That's all.
But it's going to be worth it in the end.
Yeah.
We'll look back.
I'm just concerned they're going to count it out a dollar bill at a time. You know, that might take a long time.
We're going to spend the next 90 minutes talking to as many of these business people as we can.
Absolutely.
Gary, as we always do. And I want to personally thank you for all of your hard work over the last 20 years here.
Well, I got a great staff that make me look good, and that shows how good they are, because I'm not easy to make look good.
Jody's been flying around. I don't think I can even see her feet move.
You're absolutely right.
But it's a wonderful day in the North Country.
Absolutely. Every day is a wonderful day in the North Country.
You got it, Gary. Thanks.
Okay.
now, Calvin.
Well, let's talking up the ladies. A couple of beautiful ladies just stopped by from Facette's.
You know, they come here because of him.
Oh, they do.
And if they stay here too long, I say, ladies, this is what he's going to look like. And they leave. It's unbelievable.
We need a few more Parker
Yeah.
generations here, don't we?
Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that.
Well, Rolla Parker always pays a huge premium to have this corner booth.
Unbelievable.
He's been here for the last 20 years, I suppose.
At least. At least. At least.
So how you been up at Point Fair?
Well, we're thawed out. Not thawed out. We're unwatered.
It's amazing. We were laughing and talking
There's got
about...
to be a word for unwatered.
I don't know.
Okay. We're dry.
It's like the other nonsense word, unthawed.
Right,
You know, we
yeah.
got to unthaw the pipes.
Yeah.
But in any case, you guys were not only under the gun, but under the water for a long time up there.
It was wicked. I'd never seen this. Last Tuesday, a week ago, I'm coming out, I'm driving a truck, and the Whitecaps are coming over not Scales Road, Point of Fair Road, in two big bowfins right in front of the truck. I went back at 11, a big carp right in front of the truck, so I was going to put a sign out, fish crossing. You know, it's unbelievable.
It's a truly amazing for the people who don't live around Lake Champlain. They don't know what horror it was for a long time. Was your house affected?
No, we were high enough, and the property was good because we had a lot of big stones on the waterfront.
It wasn't easy to get out though, right, without the truck?
No, you had to have a truck.
Yeah, I know.
Yep,
I
yep.
drove my truck through a lot of water that day we went up there.
It was good because my wife drives a car, so she couldn't get out, so it saved me a lot of money. She didn't go shopping for like 2 weeks. It was beautiful.
So let's talk about this business expo. This is always a good time for everybody, isn't it?
I have a blast doing this. You know, you see tons of people, and they're all fun, you know. Some of them come in a little too serious, but by the time they get by our booth,
way too serious.
when they get by our booth, they're happy again.
Yeah.
So it cuts it down.
And just maybe, you'll sell a car or truck before you're through today.
We usually get some good leads, and we'll do the phone stuff tomorrow. So it works good.
I couldn't believe it when Gary Douglas told us there are going to be 300 booths here.
Are there?
Wow, 300. Jody just goes crazy every year to fill every
amazing.
nook and cranny and corner.
Well, I'm glad I got here early because I got some of the free donuts.
Wow,
300.
But you've been walking every morning, so only one donut a day.
That's right.
Hey, Mr. Young Parker, how are you?
How you doing, sir?
Good to see you. You sell a car today?
I'm trying.
And chip off the old
Yeah,
what?
we just keep trying.
That's all we can do is keep trying. You guys are the best. Have a terrific day.
You
will
too. It's always good to see you.
Keep smiling.
Thank you. Cal?
Well, we had just a small glitch in the camera, but we got it going again. Mark Berry and I have had a few small glitches too, but here we are.
Just a few.
How you feeling, Marcus?
I'm feeling well. Since I got sick at the end of March, I've been through therapy. I can talk and walk and write a little bit. I'm still a little bit crazy, but they didn't cure that. So nothing is perfect.
There's no kind of rehab will help me with that either. So
it's good to see you guys again.
It's good to see you, and you know how we care about you.
Thank you very much. A lot of people.
A lot of prayer lines going all over the countryside, boy. Oh,
It was
boy.
nice. It was nice.
Isn't it wonderful to know that people care about you?
Well, there's nothing like a brush with death to make you popular.
We were just talking with Rolla Parker, who went through some terrible things earlier this year.
I couldn't believe that. I was very concerned about him. I told him we'd get together over a bedpan and have a reunion.
So what's going on in the business world?
Well, it's starting to pick up. We're having a very good year so far, which is surprising in commercial and industrial real estate. And we're all, of course, waiting for the final closing on the Rancho Aerospace.
Reese, I had to mention that to Gary Douglas in the very beginning. I don't know why, you know me, I'm the most positive animal in the world.
Yes.
Optimism is my middle name. And Gary Douglas and you and all, we care about this North Country and we crow about it. But there always it seems to me like there's a subterfuge. And there's a certain number of people who I call naysayers, who say, see, I told you it would never get off the ground, but guess what? It will get off.
It will get off the ground. What's going on now is that the lawyers are working with each other, or I should say not working with each other, and it's caused a delay. It's cost part of the construction season, but it's going to happen, and when the construction starts, everybody will benefit.
Benefit? Are you kidding me?
Oh, I think
this
it's
is the most exciting thing since sliced bread for me, and we've watched it ever since the first murmurings. And anytime a business of that size.
I wrote an article for a recent newsletter, and I said I don't think this is an exaggeration at all. It will literally change the economic landscape of the North Country. We will be an economic oasis in a desert of gloom and doom, and we're going to benefit from Laurentian Aerospace. There's no doubt in my mind.
You know, it sends me all the way back to the early 1960s when General Dynamics Astronautics came to town with all the workers here to build all those Atlas missile sites, and it absolutely changed the complexion of this area.
It did then, and this threatens to do the same thing, and I'm very pleased with it. I'm just glad that we didn't turn the former Air Force Base into a venue for rock concerts. Now it's going to be a venue for business repairs, and that's good.
I can't wait to see one hangar go up, another hangar go up, another hangar go up.
I think that'll happen. The first hangar is going to be large as it is. It's going to be the size of several football fields, but I believe the capacity has all been but sold. So I think it's not a secret anymore that probably within a year they'll start plans for a second hangar.
Isn't that great?
I think it's fantastic. And we're, of course, we're glad at CDC to be the real estate advisor to Laurentian. So we're in the know, we're on the inside, and I can tell you with a certitude, to borrow someone's word, that it's going to happen.
I want everybody to know that if this guy can say certitude, he's 100% in my book.
I'm getting there. And it's nice to see both of you again.
It's nice
Thank
to
you,
see
Calvin.
you feeling so much better.
I'm getting around now, and by the fall, I think it'll be back to normal. I'll be my usual crazy self.
You can jog to Katie'ville with me every day.
Okay, sounds good.
Mark, take it easy.
Thank
Have
you.
a great life, buddy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thanks, Calvin.
To the boss.
It just wouldn't be right if we spent any time, anywhere, without mentioning CVPH Medical Center.
Absolutely.
We've done so many programs at CVPH over the years, lots of wonderful interviews, and every time they take a wall down and add something, we're back again. And now look at what's going on at the ER.
Yes.
Who are you?
My name is Maria Hayes. I'm the director for the Women's and Children's Service Line over at CVPH.
I love it. And you are?
My name is Glenda Wood. I'm an RN that works in labor and delivery, and I'm the director of the childbirth education.
Isn't that? What did you know Ruth Lapeer?
I did.
My sister-in-law, what a wonderful lady. How many babies do you think they delivered under her watch at CVPH over the years?
Probably
Hundreds.
more than it's been since I've been there.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
Many,
She was
many,
wonderful.
many.
I had to mention her name.
Yes.
And you are?
My name is Cassie Belzer. I'm also a nurse, and I am a clinical coordinator on CWC.
That's wonderful. And she's the one who was trying to hide behind the sign when we came here and who said, what is this all about? What are they doing here? What? So the Expo is a lot of fun.
It is. It is. You get to network. You get to meet a lot of different people. We get to share ideas and what we do, especially at CVPH.
It's nice to have a presence, as if CVPH didn't have a presence in our community. I wonder if our mentor and benefactor who built the original Physicians Hospital in 1926, William H. Minor, would be a little surprised if he were to drop by the new facility these days.
I would think he would be impressed.
Isn't it
I think he
amazing?
would be glowing with happiness, what they've accomplished over the years.
We had so much fun celebrating the diamond anniversary. Maybe we'll be around for the next one, and I don't know when that will be.
Let's hope we all are, right?
So what's life like for you on a daily basis?
Well, we birth babies, and we take care of the little ones here in Plattsburgh to make sure that they get the best care and the best start in life that we can give them.
It's amazing what modern technology has done
Absolutely.
for premature babies, for babies in general.
right.
And every time, because my wife had 12 babies, all natural childbirth,
Oh, wow.
with 5 breech births.
Oh, wow.
No hollering and screaming, no
Oh, wow.
medications, no epidurals, nothing. So
We need to step back to that.
Yes,
I-
we
I-
do.
I
We
love-
need to go back to nature, yes.
I love to tell the world that we're up to 32 great-grandchildren
Oh,
and 2 great-greats.
God bless you. God bless you.
But when I think about that, and I look at her still working at a local hot dog stand, making the sauce at Ronnie's every day, that either folks from that era were stronger than the average bear, tougher than the average bear. But how did women survive childbirth before this modern technology came
Well,
along?
as we know, a
Many
lot of them didn't, right? Exactly. A lot didn't. We've come a long, long way. Babies survive now, as you've already mentioned, our little preemies. These little preemies that we have now would never have survived 20, 30 years ago, or 50 years ago, or 60 years ago. So the technology that we have out today does give our babies the best chance in life to start.
Now with more and more multiple births. I
That's
just
right.
saw the other day another
Yes.
lady had 6.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
I can't imagine.
yes, yes,
it's tough enough with 1.
yes.
We love the babies. I told you we had 32 greats
32.
and 1 more on the way in September. And after that, listen, I'd lose control of that.
Your family reunions must be fun.
They're wonderful. and you
Oh,
can guess
sure.
that they are. So
They are.
anyway, you guys are busy all the time, and
Yes, we
you don't
are.
mind singing the praises of your division when
Not at all.
people come by and ask hard questions.
That's right. Not at all. We're proud of what we do. And I'm proud of every
are you
nurse
all
I
from
have.
this area? No.
Well, no.
Where are you from?
Well, I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. However, I spent the last 30
she
years.
still has a twinge
I
in that
do.
accent, doesn't she?
I do, but I have spent the last 30 years in Phoenix. And we just came back home 2 years ago.
Isn't that wonderful?
Isn't it? It's
back
wonderful.
Home, you hear what she
Yeah,
said?
yes.
Back
Back home.
Yes.
And you?
I am originally from Burlington, Vermont, and made my way over here 30 years ago, and have been here ever since.
It's
This is
home.
my home.
It's home. And
Absolutely.
I am originally from Montana.
you? The big sky country?
Yeah.
And how did you end up here?
I came to work for Maria.
Come on.
Hey.
Isn't it great? Don't you love it? Thanks so much, ladies, for
welcome.
all
Thank you.
you do. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
Have a lovely day.
You too. You too.
Carrie's here. Carrie Haley from CVPH Foundation. How are you?
Good. How are you, Gordy?
I'm just doing great. You and I don't see each other nearly as often as we should.
Agreed. Mostly we communicate by email, I think, these days.
Isn't that way? Everybody communicates
Yeah.
by email.
Yeah.
You don't have to talk 10 minutes and hang up. You
That's-
just send one note and hang up.
That's right.
So what's new at the foundation these days, Carrie?
Well, we're actually working on our Circle of Healing and Hope project, which is a special thing we're putting on the front lawn of the medical center.
Tell me more about that.
Well, we break ground on Tuesday, and basically it's an extension of the indoor interfaith chapel that'll be out in the front lawn of the hospital. Just provides a place for people to go to think about something that's happened in their life, maybe to pray or think about a loved one in the hospital, that sort of a thing.
I don't know,
It's a nice area.
Calvin will take a look at it. It's right over Carrie's shoulder here. That's the proposed.
Yes. So we've been raising money to make this happen, and we've been selling pavers that folks buy in honor or in memory of someone, and we're doing quite well with that. We're able to extend our deadline for another few weeks, so if people want to be part of it, we're happy to have them.
I've been connected tightly and loosely with the foundation for a long, long time, ever since I helped to raise some money for some of these funds
Some of our travel funds.
many years ago on the radio. And the foundation doesn't seek nor get the publicity it deserves all the time. You work so hard behind the scenes. But basically explain what the role of the foundation is.
Well,
Carrie.
I look at it as having two purposes. One is we raise money and we use that money to support the medical center and to support the community. So in the typical fashion of supporting a medical center for any special projects they have going on, as well as equipment, staff education, and that sort of thing. But we also do things for the community in terms of the travel funds like you have been part of for so long, helping people get the specialized care they need that they can't get here. We can help with travel expenses. We do community health lectures. We'll support various programs in the community that match up with our mission and are a benefit to the health and wellness of the North Country. So
I'll be hearing from you and Michelle in the future, I know.
oh yes, we'll keep you on speed dial.
Carrie, thanks so much
Thanks,
for all
Gordy.
you do. You're terrific.
Oh, thanks.
See you later.
Bye.
And I didn't know this was going to be a first-class operation. Roll the sleeves down and button them.
Absolutely.
Keith Matat, how you doing?
Doing very well.
Development Corporation. We're always interested in what's going on with this group.
Well, one of the most exciting things this year is Fujitsu is expanding. They're bringing about 53 new jobs into the area.
That's good.
Production jobs, engineering jobs, logistics types of jobs as well. They're going through a large inside renovation of the facility, relaying out the facility, adding 5,000 square feet of offices, and then we're working with them closely to create a logistics space as well.
In an economy around the country that's a little bit weak at times, things just explode here in the North Country.
Absolutely.
And the Development Corporation is always on the cutting edge.
We try to be, yes.
That's great. A lot of good things going on up here. How long have you been with this group?
I've been here at the Development Corporation about 5.5 years.
Is that possible?
It's going by very fast. Absolutely. It's been a good 5.5 years, and I hope it's a lot longer.
People who used to live here maybe 20 years ago wouldn't believe what's happened since the base closed, would they?
No, not at all. We hear that on a very regular basis, that people can't believe the good work that the Park Group has done with the redevelopment of the base, and that the county is doing with the redevelopment of the airstrip with Plattsburgh International Airport and things like that.
Every time I drive up the Banker Road and look past all those wonderful developments and drive past Nova Bus,
yes,
I say, wow.
Yes, and they just had a recent good announcement as well. Yeah.
A lot of good stuff happening here in the North Country.
Yes, for sure.
For all the people who may not think there's growth up here and growth potential,
yes,
stop in and talk to these people at this booth.
All right.
Right?
Yes.
Keith, you're the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks so much for chatting with us.
Not a problem.
You can roll your sleeves back up anytime you want to.
Okay.
See you later.
Thank you, sir.
You too, buddy. We're at the Business Expo. In case somebody just turned their television set on, we've been here for a while. You don't have to run away. People try to hide from the microphone and the camera. I don't know. It's
I'm not shy.
I know
I'm
you're
not shy.
Sandy Duquette, how are you?
I am fine, Gordy.
Good to see you with the Plattsburgh North Country Service Corporation.
Exactly.
You deserve a little credit here today for all your hard work. Tell us what you do.
Okay, I work for the Chamber. We are a business inside the Chamber. And I'm a broker with my assistant, who's also a broker, and we take care of the business community. We try to, unlike most brokers, we don't work for commission, so we show everything that could possibly be shown that a normal broker cannot show, like Healthy New York and Child Health Plus. They don't sell these products, so why would they show them? But my job is to make my members happy. And cheaper isn't always better. It's, you're interviewed, I interview you, and I find out where you should be. And I tell people, come in, you might be doing exactly what you should be doing, but you might be wrong. And it's a lot of money now. Some of these policies are like a mortgage. Very high.
There are some people in the business who aren't 1/100th as knowledgeable as you are.
Well, that's why you have a broker. And people get really weird, I feel, because they don't go to their brokers. You have to remember that a broker is like a lawyer on retainer. We are paid to take care of you whether you call us or not. So never be afraid to call your broker because they work for you, and that's what their job is.
So what's a typical day like for you?
A typical day, well, yesterday I was in Indian Lake all day.
Yeah, come on.
I swear to God. Our chamber has merged with 14 other chambers, partnered, for health insurance. My boss, Gary Douglas, is all over all the time. And by bonding with all these partnering with all these other chambers, it gives us more of a say in the North Country. He's in Albany, he's in Washington, and it helps. And he works for everybody. He's not about just the Plattsburgh Chamber. If everybody knows Gary, he's about the North Country. And so we're down as far down as Pottersville, Tupper Lake, Saranac Lake, North Warren, Malone, all over the place. We have 14.
It's not your grandmother's Chamber of Commerce anymore.
No. We are the 4th largest in New York State.
Yeah.
We have 4,000 members.
Don't you love it?
Now, by members, I mean just businesses,
Yeah.
not their employees.
Isn't that incredible?
Unbelievable.
When you think about it, we talked with Gary briefly when we started here today.
Gary's unbelievable.
The lake flooding caused a few problems.
Okay, it causes problems, but it's also amazing. That's my boss also in the background. That's Jody. Jody had us in a new location and up and running in one day. We're
Think about
talking internet, phones, that's unbelievable. It should take weeks. So we are lucky. Lake Champlain Cardiology is where we are now.
People who don't know Jody don't know what she can do when she puts her mind to it.
Exactly. And everybody at the chamber, we all have our little niches, but we're all go-getters and we're all extroverts, and you do what you do to get the job done. That's the way we are.
So you're gonna stick with this for a while, huh?
Oh, I don't know. Somebody yesterday told my assistant that Sandy's getting up there. What are you going to do when she retires? I said, you wait till I get my hands on him. Sandy's getting up there.
Sandy's getting up there.
I am.
You might be growing taller, maybe.
And fatter.
Sandy, you're the best. You know that?
Take care.
Good luck with everything. Have a great day.
And keep those articles in the paper going.
Keep trying.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, it's time to talk about Prime Link and to hide the Dunkin' Donuts cups. You don't want anybody to know they're here.
Because it's 90 degrees out.
Vicki, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Gordy?
I'm thrilled to know you. Do you remember the first time you and I ever met? You were only 7, and I was about 63.
I don't think that I was 7. I was a little older than that.
Where were you working then?
It's probably the marketing director at Champlain Center.
Isn't that amazing? What year was that? Because you still look like a teenager.
That would have been 2001.
Is that not 10 years?
Yeah, it has been.
Not a decade.
It has been 10 years.
At Meadowbrook Nursing Home.
Yep, most recently, till November.
And now Prime Link.
Yes, now Prime Link, marketing manager at Prime Link.
Before the camera started, and we don't have any secrets around here on Hometown Cable, Vicki said, I'm wilting. I sounded like the Wizard of Oz. I'm wilting.
That's how I feel.
It's a muggy day in the North Country.
I'm not complaining, though.
It was warmer yesterday. We just talked with Judy Parks. We mentioned her name, and she was skittering off to do something else to visit one more of the 186 booths that are here this year. I asked her if it was bigger and better. She said, well, about the same as last year. And you know, status quo is sometimes pretty good.
Well, it's they have a good turnout, I think, every year. So It's probably hard to make that bigger and better.
You know, for me, for Calvin, and for most of the people we know, the Expo is just plain fun.
It is a lot of fun. You see people here that you don't necessarily see all year sometimes. So
nobody's too serious. Just having a good time, and it's a good way to get the message out.
It is. It's a really good way to be able to connect with people, a lot of people at one time, and people that you don't necessarily see every day. And you can kind of showcase some of your special things that you might not get to on a normal basis. So I think it is a lot of fun.
Talk about Prime Link.
Well, I'll tell you what we're doing, what we're showing off here today. I was going to say, tell you what we're showing off. We basically have run our fiber optics, which is our internet service, here through the field house to our booth, and we are showing our video conference equipment, which is behind us. So behind us,
right next to the Dunkin' Donuts cups.
Turn around, Gordy. Turn around, Gordy.
Oh, Lord.
Look at that. That's from Champlain.
Isn't that amazing?
So he's doing that in Champlain. On the other end of that's Rick down there and the Champlain telephone office.
Look at this. Is that cool or what?
So we're showing off our video conference equipment and just some of the things that you can do with our fiber optic speed fiber, which we've got the videos playing on the laptops and the video conference equipment. And the equipment that you see over there is basically what brings the fiber into our space.
And the only reason it didn't say hi Calvin is because he didn't know how to spell Calvin, right?
Probably.
Everybody knows how to spell Gordy. Isn't it wonderful? Communications today just blows me away.
It's amazing what you can do.
Things that I could only dream about as a youngster. But you've seen a lot of developments, even during the term of your very young life?
Well, even when I was a college student, we weren't even using the internet on a regular basis as a college student at all. I'm
Vicki.
telling you, we did not have.
Isn't that amazing?
Anybody in my age group can attest to that. We weren't using the internet on a regular basis. People did not have computers in their rooms. People went to the computer lab. So I mean, I've seen. We went from that to now on a regular basis. I'm sitting at a video conference machine, having meetings with people in Champlain while I'm in Plattsburgh, and vice versa.
It's a good thing I don't tell people that when I was in college, they didn't even have calculators. We had slide rules. If anybody wants to know how to run a slide rule, I think I still have one or two that might work.
Yep.
It is truly.
It's amazing, though, at how much things have changed in really a fairly short period of time.
Yeah, and Prime Link is a growing organization all the time.
Absolutely. Always building on our network, trying to offer our services in more areas. And better the network and increase the speeds. That's an everyday, trying to make it better and better and keep up with the technology that's out there.
And you thought I was going to ask you hard questions?
No, those are pretty easy questions.
I think it's pretty terrific. Vicki, thanks so much for all you do.
You're very welcome.
See you later.
Thanks for stopping.
Bye-bye.
Yes. Why don't you get on this side?
And we can't just say Lettermore anymore. We have to say NBT Lettermore. Stop, how are you?
I'm great, how are you?
Chris, how are you?
Good, yourself?
Just good. Could we sing a few choruses of something? Or?
Well, we had to retire Eugene.
Oh no!
But, I think Eugene's going to open up for the lager. So I'm just kidding.
People who are watching this in some other state or country have no idea what we're talking about. Eugene was just the best. He was a North Country icon. We never knew exactly where he lived, though, did we, Staub?
No, we don't. We wanted to keep it well hidden because, we were afraid for his, he was a very popular guy, and
he moved from Altona to
paparazzi around him like
Easy.
crazy, so we had to protect him.
He was the voice of Lettermore's for a long, long time, and Staub has been singing songs since he was about 2, I think.
That's about right.
Haven't you?
Yes.
You're still writing music?
I still do.
Do you
I
really?
still do. My son has a wedding coming up actually next week or next year, and I'm going to write a song for his wedding.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So,
I love it.
and actually he wrote me words to put to music, and I'm going to surprise him and present him with that song. So it should be a lot of fun.
Isn't that just terrific? And your Christmas song will outlive you, right?
I hope so, and I hope it becomes very popular, and someday it could be a real big Christmas hit, and maybe I'll be gone, but at least people will enjoy it.
I love it. I still hum it in June and July.
Great.
Chris, what's going on with NBT Lettermore? You want to explain that to us?
I'll be happy to. Lettermore's insurance agency, effective May 2nd of 2011, we actually merged with NBT Bank and its insurance subsidiary called Mang Insurance, LLC. It was a tough decision for Lettermore's insurance agency to make a decision to do a merger. But what we did is my father, Glenn, and my brother, Curtis, and I, we all sat down and we wanted to look at the pros and cons of doing this merger. And what it came down to is by doing this merger, what it was actually going to do is it was going to benefit our current clients and our future clients. And by saying that it's going to benefit them is what it's actually going to do is it's going to give us a larger market as far as companies that we're going to be able to write with. And having larger markets and more companies to write with is going to give us the opportunity to find better rates, better coverages, and give our clients more options and place them on the table. Not only for personal lines business, meaning auto, home, boats, motorcycles, ATVs, but also our commercial lines. And another big thing that NBT is going to be bringing to the table is going to be the life and health and employee benefit program as well.
So it's a big move.
It's a huge move.
So you think this story will have a happy ending?
It's going to have a happy ending because whenever you can provide somebody with more service and possibly a better product, then it always ends up being a happy ending, yes.
Lettermore's Insurance has been around for a long time.
Since 1969.
Think about it. I was going to say, when you and I were young, Maggie, when Staub and I were a lot younger than we are now, right, Staub?
I was about 9 years old when they started.
I mean, as long as I live, I will never forget Glenn and Mary coming into the radio station at Christmas time and doing our little thing, right?
That's right.
At Christmas time on the radio stations.
Kurt and I were involved in that with you as well.
Oh, of course you were. Will you say hi to your dad for me?
I will do that.
He's one of my best and dearest friends in the North Country, and everybody's friend. I mean, how many family businesses have survived that long and thrived and are willing to make a change like this?
Right, but the thing that the people in the North Country need to realize as well is, if you look at the name, it's NBT Lettermore Insurance Agency. So Lettermore Insurance Agency is still in existence. So that's not going to change. And you're going to have the same people, same faces when you walk into any of our 3 locations. So there's not going to be any of those changes. You're just putting a few initials in front of it and providing better service and offering extra coverages to people.
We'll watch you for a long time to come, Staub. You're the best.
Thank you very much.
Keep singing,
Have a great
keep
time.
smiling, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Gordy. I appreciate it. Thank you, Calvin.
Jennifer Gamble or
Gamble.
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 And we're here talking about the Plattsburgh International Airport, of course.
Yes.
And that's what we're going to talk about.
Okay.
You and I have never met before.
Nope.
Before we set our camera up, Jennifer had no idea who Calvin Castine was, no idea who Gordy Little was, and I'm just another fat guy. And we've been doing these documentaries for many, many years. I've done over 700, and Calvin has done thousands since the early 80s.
Thousands.
Yeah, thousands.
Yeah, thousands.
Yeah. So you're obviously not from this area.
I am not, but I'm from Buffalo, New York, so I'm at least from my home state.
And what a lot of people in other southern states would call northern New York, because they forget about this corner.
I know. Anything up from the city is upstate, right?
So how did you get involved with the airport?
Well, I work for Pinnacle Airlines Corporation, which owns Colgan Airlines. So I do all the market planning in the negotiations for essential air service, and so we won the award, and we do the scheduling and the pricing and work with the community to ensure that we sold the product of our service into this market, and then we continue to support it through the contract period.
This little airport is making an international name for itself.
It is?
Yes, it is.
I know. It's growing like crazy, isn't it?
Don't you love it?
I love it.
Our friends from the north come down and fly here because they like it here.
Yes.
They like the facility. The facility will be expanding. And your airline's kind of busy too, isn't it?
It's very busy. There's a lot going on, and we fly as a U.S. Air Express to Boston, and then we connect to the whole Boston network. Once you hit Boston, we can connect to all the business markets. You have some of the lower cost carriers that fly to the leisure, and we're the business piece and bring it into the scheduled network.
There wasn't too many years ago when there wasn't a Plattsburgh International Airport.
Right.
There was a Plattsburgh Air Force Base.
That's right.
And then an idea was born.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people said it will never fly. How's that for a choice of words?
Very good.
But guess what? In its very short lifespan, it's flying everywhere.
It
and
sure
who
is.
knows what the future will bring. There'll be expansion to this facility. There'll be new parking facilities there. And we're so delighted that your airline is a part of it all.
It's a beautiful airport. It really is.
It really
the
is.
facility's beautiful. There's plenty of space to grow. The runway's very long.
The more concrete than you'll ever see anywhere in the world.
We're good there. We're good. Yeah, it's a great airport. I think really great things are going to come your way. You have a lot of an aggressive marketing staff that's going to really be able to. A lot of the smaller communities don't have the marketing force that you have with the chamber, and I think they're really going to help push it and build it. So.
This chamber is gung-ho, I'll tell you.
They are.
And they love to sing the praises of this airport.
That's true.
That's great. It's nice to meet you.
It was very nice
Best
to meet
of
you.
luck
It was
and
a
have
pleasure.
a wonderful
Thank
day
you.
here.
Thank you.
See you
It's
later.
a beautiful day. Great weather. I love
love
it.
it.
Always is.
We didn't move far from the airport to the Adirondack Coast. Sally
Right.
Powers, how are you?
Good, thank you.
What are you doing here today?
This is part of my job. Is we promote the Adirondack Coast outside to visitors and invite them here, but we also let people and residents know what we're up to. So
Why are we calling it the Adirondack Coast?
the Adirondacks have such a strong brand. If someone, if they can't exactly place it on a map, they've at least heard of it. And obviously we've got a huge, beautiful coastline that we're trying to promote, Lake Champlain. And it's really been we did it a couple years ago as a campaign. It's gotten some legs, and now that's our brand.
We got the power corner down here, don't we, huh? For the chamber and the coast and the airport.
Absolutely.
I finally found some people who've never heard of Calvin and never heard of me.
Yeah,
so we got to introduce ourselves.
Excellent. They're from out of town. So.
We know they came here, but they're good at what they do.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And this is actually a great component for the Adirondack Coast, because we've typically been a drive-in destination, and adding the airport, we become a fly-in destination. So we're going to be able to invite visitors to get here in very short fashion, but on planes rather than driving here.
Among all the other things you do in the course of every day, you've all but adopted this airport.
Yeah.
Personally, it means a great deal to you.
Absolutely. I was brought in and going to trade shows and selling the airport before we even had a terminal.
From here to Paris, France, and back again.
I will be in Paris in 2 weeks. We're going to the Paris Air Show, Sue and myself, and to be sitting at the Paris Air Show with these huge corporations and representing Plattsburgh, it's a tremendous opportunity. And I'll tell you what, when I'm over there talking to people and they're like, I've heard of Plattsburgh, I've been to the airport, it's really moving.
Well, you've had that happen right from the very beginning, the first time you went there.
You have a good memory, yes.
Of course. People say to you, yes, they know about this area.
Absolutely.
That's a feel-good thing.
It is. We were in Farnborough last year, and again, most of what we're there at the air show for is marketing the industrial side of the airport and trying to get companies here like a Laurentian. But we also have the opportunity to people say, I'm coming to the Adirondacks, I'm going to Long Lake, but there's no way to get there. So I was like, well, we have an airport. So we've actually been able to make some of those connections too.
It's really nice that we have the Adirondack Coast to hang our hats on.
Absolutely.
We promoted this area for a long, long time, and I mentioned the success of this local chamber and the other small chambers around the North Country since the very beginning. Yeah. But I mentioned before that it's not your grandmother's chamber anymore.
This, I think the organization I work for, and Gary Douglas in particular, is such a visionary. It's incredible to be working in a small community that has such big plans, and watching them come to life. It's really been fascinating to be a part of, and I feel very blessed.
It's nice to be able to extend your voice outside the area and the scope of what you do. Something Calvin and I have done on a much smaller scale for years and years, working very hard to promote this area.
Yes.
Because Gary discovered, and you discovered, because you're not a native.
I'm not. I am now. I've been here for 6 years. Does that count?
That counts great.
Okay.
It is a special place to live and work and raise a family. And we want the world to know that, so they'll come and say hello.
You know what it is, and I came here really for the first time I've been living here full-time for 6 years, but visiting 3 years prior, and I wanted to be here. I wanted to be a part of this, and I'm an outdoors person, and when you look at Lake Champlain, you look at the Adirondacks and just the recreational opportunities here, it's really something special. And to be able to go out and market that to people in a product you really believe in, it's easy. I mean, I have the best job in the world.
Easy for you. Shelley, you're the best.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for all your hard work.
And you too.
Thanks,
Thank
you. John, I put you in the wrong family these years because we had Van Ettens that lived across the river from me in Morrisonville.
Indeed.
And I thought you were John because there is a Jonathan.
Correct.
And a Jamie.
Yep. It's like I said, Jonathan lived right around the corner from me in Del Mar, New York.
Isn't that amazing?
Indeed.
Small world.
It is small.
Marcia, we don't think you're somebody else. We know who you are.
Thank you. Thank you, Gordy. That's right.
What's new with you?
What's new with me? I am back in the insurance business.
I noticed that.
I am now working for Upstate Agency, we've just been purchased by Glens Falls National.
Indeed.
So that's why I'm here with John.
There's a lot of things like this going on these days. Is this a good thing, John?
It's a great thing, and you'll find nationwide, across the country, a good majority of independent insurance agencies are owned by small community banks, just like us. It gives our customers one-stop shopping. They come in, they know our branch managers, they know our tellers. They have questions about something, they ask the questions, and we line them up with some good insurance.
Marcia, you've been in the business for more than
40 years or so, Gordy. Yeah.
I love it.
But I was very young when I started.
Me too. I was just telling somebody the other day, probably my wife. Do you realize it was 50 years ago that I started in the radio business up here? Wow!
I know. Time flies when you're having fun. That's right. That's right.
So this is a good thing for you, obviously.
Yes, it is. Very much so. We've been very busy and we've been very successful in helping out Glens Falls National clients, saving them money, giving them good coverages. So yes, it's been a win-win, definitely.
That's great. You've been in the business a long time, even though you're still a teenager, John.
I've been in the banking business 23 years.
Started
out as a credit analyst for the old Marine Midland Bank down on Wolf Road.
Are you sure you never lived across the river from me?
I'm telling you. It's great. I love it.
I probably never lived that down.
Well, the funny part is, you've said it before, and I just haven't said anything.
Isn't that amazing?
He chooses when he's on
John
camera.
and Jonathan.
That's it.
It's a difference. What's
I'm
the
a
spelling?
I'm a John.
That's easy.
That's it. And of course, the last name though was spelled a little different. Our ancestors used to spell it Van Etten, V-A-N-E-T-T-E-N.
You mean
that's and then
there's
somewhere
a redeeming quality here.
That's it. Somewhere along the line, somebody changed it to Van Etten, N-A-T-T-E-N. Yep.
There's no confusing us littles.
No.
That's why we keep it simple. Marcia, John, thanks so much.
Gordy, thank you.
welcome,
Keep
Gordy.
smiling.
You bet. Take care.
Bye-bye. Somebody said stand right behind her and make faces. I can stand right here and make faces at her. Judy Parks, hello there.
Hello there.
A whirling dervish, that's what I said you were.
Well, kind of. It's true.
This is a busy time for you, isn't it?
It is a really busy time, and we've had a lot of stuff going on at the chamber lately, so it's made it even busier this year.
Not to mention trying to mop the floors and get back in, right?
That's it.
It is busy. It is busy down there, and you wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, that's true. You know, you can't be sitting still for very long without getting bored, so we like to keep moving.
How many expos were there before you got involved?
You know, I think this is the 23rd, and I was trying to calculate the other day. I think I've been around for 17 of them. I must be getting old.
I've seen you many times up on the catwalk.
Yes, indeed. I was there this morning taking pictures.
Where you were, really?
Oh, yeah. It's a great view from up there. Have you been up there?
No.
It's a bit of a climb, but it's a nice view.
I wouldn't get a nosebleed if I went up there. There's an elevator. I might try it. Jody, just for the benefit of people watching this who may or may not have ever seen this show before, what does it take to organize and set up a business expo here?
It's a pretty big undertaking. We work on it for about a year. Luckily, this show has been going on for 23 years, so we have a very good following. We've got a solid base of people that come back year after year and do it, which makes it easy for us. And it's really the exhibitors that have to put all the work into it because they have to design what they're going to do for the booth each year and make that happen. And some of them, as you will probably have already seen as you've been walking through, they go all out and they get really creative with their booths, so it's fun to see each year what they're going to do.
How many emails and telephone calls in the last year?
Pretty much countless. I think at 11 o'clock last night I was still answering emails, so you know, it just goes on, but the people that have been doing it for a while know what to expect now, and then they can help the new people get involved. And
what's the hardest part of it?
Probably just the organizational part. As soon as you think you've got all the information out there for everybody, they call and ask you something that you think you've already sent them. And, you know, it's just with 186 booths, there's so many people involved, and every booth has, you know, 4 or 5 people working at it. So it's just a lot of people to organize.
A lot of logistics is the word.
It is, definitely.
but it's an important function every year, I think.
It really is. For these businesses, it's a chance for them to showcase what they can do for our area. And every single year, I will hear from people after the expo that said, you know, I saw a particular company, whoever it might be, at your show. I had no idea they do, you know, whatever it might be. Or there's a new product out, or, you know, there's something that people have kind of forgotten about. And it's also the perfect chance for them to say thank you to their current customers. A lot of times we're doing business with people on the phone or on email, and we don't get to see them personally, and we don't get to talk to them. So it's really a chance to shake somebody's hand and say thank you for being my customer.
New customers and old customers, and it's nice just to hobnob.
It really is.
To chat with people.
We do say it's the biggest networking opportunity of the year, and it is, because no other time during the year do you have this many people who are in one place at one time, and the sole purpose of being here is to network.
I wonder how many communities, this size or any size, have had this many successful business expos.
I think
New York
none.
State. I don't know of any, I'll be very honest with you.
Yes, like the Vermont Expo was in Burlington last week or the week before, but that's really their statewide expo. Yes. And this one is definitely on the same level as that one, and this is just our little regional expo. So, you know, we definitely do a good job. We do pull in people from other areas. The Lake Placid VCB is here today. The Malone Chamber of Commerce is here. So, you know, we've got the whole region represented, which is very nice too.
The Business Expo was not held at this venue in the very beginning, was it?
No, in the very beginning it was at the Crate Center, and they quickly grew out of that. And a lot of people don't realize this space is just that much bigger. And we've really filled this space as much as we possibly can. And we're going to think about building a second floor.
You say that every year. Then we come back.
And there's no second floor.
But in spite of everything that's happened in the world of economics, in our nation and the world, the Business Expo is alive and well in 2011.
Yes, it definitely is. And I know people have had a hard time, and, you know, I understand the whole flooding issues very well personally. And, you know, people are still here today, and they're all in good spirits, and they're all having a great time, and it's good to see that.
Well, may it always be so. Jody, thanks so much for all you do.
Thank you.
What are you doing? He said, what are you doing? Chris, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Is it D'Angelo?
D'Angelo, yes.
I love it. We're going to talk about the fire equipment here.
Excellent.
So tell me about it.
Lake City Fire Equipment. My wife and I started it in 2009, and it's grown since then.
So what's involved?
We have several divisions, and probably our busiest division is the fire extinguisher division.
Oh yes.
We do sales, service, installation, training on all different size and types of fire extinguishers. I mean, we also do mobile recharging on site.
Oh, no kidding, on site?
Yeah, we do it right on site, so the customer is never without their fire extinguisher.
It's a business that I don't even think about. So it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff.
That is true, and it's something that all businesses are required to do. So we try to take that one less thing for business owners to worry about. We take care of it for them, and when they're due, we stop in once a year and take care of it.
What's this tank down here?
Now, this is a scuba tank.
That's what I thought.
It is, and we have here, this is a CO2 tank for a beverage system. And this little tank here is a CO2 tank off of a paintball gun. And what we're showing here is in December we got licensed by the Federal Department of Transportation to be a cylinder requalifier, which means we hydro test cylinders at certain intervals when they're due for recertification. And we do that at our facility at 7 Lorraine Street, and we're the only licensed facility in Clinton County that does that work.
How did you come up with this idea in the first place?
Well, I've been involved in the fire service since I was 18, and I've seen a lot of other departments having to send their cylinders out of state to have this work done. And we had a large welding company offer us a contract to requalify cylinders, and so we made the investment and went in and started doing it.
You picked a heck of a time to get started in this business. Is it working all right for you?
It's working very well. We've got cylinders that come into the shop every week, and our number of fire extinguisher accounts grow every month, and it's just getting bigger and bigger. And that's just one side of the business.
What's the other side?
Well, on the other side of the business, also tied into this, we do kitchen systems, Ansel systems for that all kitchens, commercial restaurants have.
Oh yeah.
They're required to be inspected every 6 months, so we do those inspections. And another thing we do is CPR training.
I heard him 21.
Yes. A lot of businesses like to have their employees trained in CPR, and we come in any time of the day or night, and we'll train company employees in CPR and first aid.
So do you have a staff, or do you do this all on your own?
My wife and I primarily run the business, and we have some other people that help us from time to time.
That's amazing. I didn't know about it before today, and now I do. Chris, thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Well, guess where we stopped? Right where we always start when we take our DVDs down to go on television.
There you go.
Charter Communications. Who are you?
I'm Zach Lattenville.
I know that, Zach Lattenville. You aren't the Zach Lattenville I watched grow up around here.
Not anymore.
My God, I didn't know you still live in town.
Of course.
How long have you worked at Charter?
For a few months. Just switched
really?
over. Yep, I came from Time Warner, actually, out of Lake Placid, and switched over here. I grew up here, so it's nice to be home.
Of course you grew up here. Do you still live in town?
I do.
Son of a gun, it's
I have a
small
10-year-old
world.
son here. It's
Come
perfect.
on, 10-year-old son?
10-year-old son.
Oh, Zach, that's not possible.
No, I love it.
So what is your function with Charter?
Basically, my function, I handle all of the larger scale businesses, colleges, fiber accounts, basically. My job is to go out, try and find some opportunities, and show what Charter has to offer.
So you're on the road a lot?
I'm on the road a lot, yeah. But I like it. It's a beautiful area to be on the road in.
You just every day you're somewhere else?
Most of the time I'm around here. We basically branch any Charter territory that we have is where I cover. We do have some areas in eastern Vermont that I cover as well. So I get around. Yeah, it's fun.
That's wonderful. Your partner's busy chatting over there.
She is.
When she gets finished, we'll talk with her for a minute too. Zach, it's
Sounds
great
good.
to talk to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Julie Hurley tried to get away from the microphone, tried to get away from the camera.
Yes.
But Zach said, you just were so bubbly and you want to get up here and do it again.
That's right.
I lied. So how's it going today?
Good. It's a little hot, but we're glad to be here.
It's amazing. It's not as warm as it was yesterday.
No, yesterday I think I saw it got up to like 100.
Did you wake up with the storm last night?
I did.
Holy mackerel, was that crazy?
Yeah, it was loud.
I said, who turned the lights on? Thunder and lightning. So what are people asking you questions, or are you just promoting Charter today, or what are you doing?
Well, we're here to represent Charter Business, which services business customers from small to larger size businesses. And we're here, answer any questions people have, give away some pens, some hand sanitizer, and have a good day.
That's a good thing. You got to try to follow Zach around, though. You can never do that.
No,
you know that, right?
No.
I've known him since he was a very, very young child.
Very nice.
Well, you've been with Charter for a little while now.
Yes, it'll be 3 years.
Is that possible?
Yeah, I guess so.
I remember when we first met you, and you had no idea what was going to happen.
Yeah, probably.
So things are good for you.
Yep, things are going great.
That's great. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you.
Have a wonderful day, will you?
You too.
See you later.
Okay.
Eric Jacobson, how are you?
I'm very good, Gordy. It's good to see you. How are you doing?
Good to see anybody at my age, you know that.
Yeah, this side of the dirt there, okay.
So what are you doing here today?
Well, actually, we're out here today just to help support the business community here in Plattsburgh. We do a lot of business commercially with a lot of folks, but we also like to help support the Chamber in their efforts, the Adirondack Coast Visitors Convention Bureau, and also the Battle of Plattsburgh Commission. We really like to be a part of the community as opposed to just a gold digger.
Tell us a little bit about all the radio stations.
All right, well, AM 1230 is Timeless Classics. We do everything from Frank Sinatra right on up to Doris Day, and on to, if you can believe it, Mick Jagger is 67 years old, the Rolling Stones.
Is that possible?
It is possible. Cool 105 Classic Hits. We do the Court of Music Now, or the #1 hits of the 70s and early 80s. Very popular format with a lot of business folks. WIZN is now the sole classic rock station in the Champlain Valley. It is the Heritage Classic Rock Station.
Ta-da!
Yep, they're doing very well. 99.9 or 99.9 Point the Buzz, whatever that is. I have no idea. That's modern music, modern rock. Gordy, that ain't me. I can't explain it. And then, of course, 98.9 WOKO, the big station, 100,000 watts of contemporary country. And we really like working our stations to support both sides of the lake and many of the charities throughout the Champlain Valley.
You worked hard at it. You've been involved for how many years now, Eric?
Well, I'd like to draw your attention to this Business Expo pin from 1993.
Oh, you got it. I didn't even notice the year on that.
1993.
That was your age.
Yeah, I'm getting up there. Almost like you, Gordy. Almost.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. I think I've been to every one of these except one where I went Maine fishing. And I didn't catch any fish, so I should have stayed right here. I fished the salmon.
I won't hold that one against you.
Okay.
So you've been. The ferry has almost made a living on you, hasn't it?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. They all know me, and the thing is, they still want to check my car. I think they're looking for free tickets or passes. You know, when the security checks. But one time when I first started, well, I was probably 3 or 4 years into the job. I was in such a hurry to get back to the office over in Burlington. I was just wound up. I got on the ferry and I was all, geez, what's going on here? And I got out of the car and I said, Eric, dummy up. You're in a beautiful area. You're on Lake Champlain between upstate New York and Vermont. You got the Adirondacks behind you, the Green Mountains in front of you. Stop and smell the coffee. It's a wonderful place we live and work in. And I'm very happy to raise my family in this area.
He's not just flopping his lips. We really believe this, or we wouldn't have stayed here this long.
Oh yeah.
It is a great part of the country.
Gorgeous. The thing that hurts me, or my son is graduating high school.
Is that possible?
Yeah. Well, yeah. 93. He was born in 93.
Wow.
And my main concern is that he will not find an engineering job in the area.
Yeah.
I gotta really compliment Gary Douglas and the Plattsburgh North Country Chamber for all the work they do bringing businesses in. The hard work they did with Laurentian. I wish the knuckleheads over in Vermont had the foresight that is shown here. That's a whole other ball of wax.
Get you when you get home tonight.
That's another ball of wax.
Oh boy. But we do have a pretty decent area here.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
The radio business thrives on both sides of the lake.
Yep.
You've been involved in meeting and greeting people for such a long time. We've had some great contacts with Hometown Cable because of you, Eric. Just want you to know we really appreciate all your help too.
It's my pleasure all the time, all the way. Gordy.
You're the best.
No, sir, you are.
Keep smiling, will you?
I certainly will, and thank you.
We're in the back of the building, and guess what, Gary Wagner? It's not a bit cooler back here than it was in the front of the building.
Not a bit, no.
How you been, my old friend?
Been very well, thank you.
Every time we meet, and that's at least once a year, we have to talk about Alexandria Bay in the old days, right?
Talk about the bay, yeah.
And Adventure Town, you found more pictures?
More pictures. I did. I was cleaning out some pictures the other day, and I found some newspaper articles, and I thought of you immediately, and then I got to go get them.
Somewhere in the archives, and I think Cable, this guy Calvin Cable, Mr. Cable, Hometown Cable, has seen it. It's my press photograph with the cowboy hat on, sideburns and stuff from whatever year that was.
We need to see that on Hometown Cable again. We ought to show that special.
I'm guessing that was 1957.
Yeah, it was 57, 58, and I believe you were one of the good guys, weren't you?
I was a good guy.
Oh, okay.
I got shot lots of times every day.
When did you change your? No,
well, I don't know. I've been a good guy.
Yeah, I know.
I had during that high noon shindig that they did at 12 o'clock every day.
Yeah.
I was stationed on a roof.
Oh my God!
With a shotgun. Very early in the routine, I got shot. So I had to fall off the roof.
I remember that.
Land on the ground and play dead for the whole rest of the skit.
My God.
The little kids would come along with their nice new pointed cowboy boots and kick me in the head to make sure I was dead.
Oh my gosh, I remember seeing that. And Danny O'Neill, you knew Danny O'Neill and Bud Hebert and all that crowd.
So you got a picture you got to see.
I do. I have a picture. I'll get to you.
I love it.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
They were different.
I can't tell any lies about Adventure Town because you were there.
Oh, I was there.
When I tell people I rode the bulls in the rodeo, they say, no, you didn't. I said, yes, I did.
Bet you did.
This arthritis with all these things that hurt every morning when I get up. So anyway, what's new at West Ave?
Well, we've been busy. We've been steadily busy, and we're looking forward to the new things that are going on in Plattsburgh. We see some things picking up, and it's been good, been steady. Steady business.
You know, I asked somebody just a few minutes ago, what's an average day like for you? Are you in the office all day?
Usually, yeah, but I'm a 9 to 5:30 guy, and if I can't work on one day of the week, I usually stay home. So I'm winding down a little bit myself, but...
No, you're not. You would never admit that, Gary.
Yeah, I did. But I enjoy it so much that I just want to be in there and get in the fray. And of course, we're working Katie into it pretty much full time.
Katie, get over here.
Katie, come on in here.
Hi, Katie.
Hi.
What's your last name?
McClellan.
That's a good name. A good North Country, Rouse's Point name. There you go. Where are you from, Katie?
Champlain.
Oh, wow. There you go. Are you related to the famous McClellans from that area? That had the printing business and everything way back when?
No, I don't think so.
That's too bad. You better find a connection. We'll get you in touch with a genealogist.
There you go.
How did you get hooked up with this guy of all people?
It's my father. He's my father.
Isn't that wonderful?
It's a family business.
So you got hooked up with him a long time ago.
She's been a gem of a daughter all the way through. Been a gem of a daughter.
And he would say that even if you weren't here, Katie. You know.
Yeah.
Yes.
True. So tell me about your role in the business now.
Well, I'm learning from the pro, from my dad, from the master. Learning about the business, and I'm learning to operate it, and learning all different aspects of operating a family business.
You know, it pleases me to walk around this expo this year and every year and see how many wonderful family businesses have survived 40, 50, 60 years.
I agree. We were over talking with Rolf's a little while ago, and I didn't realize it. They've been 60 years at that. And of course, Hope and ETS, wonderful family business. And there's numerous, as you know.
Many others. It's just great. It's North Country. It's a pretty good place to live and work.
Yes, it is.
To raise a family, to play.
Yes, it is.
It's great to talk to you guys.
It's great seeing you again.
Good to see you.
Yes, thank you.
Are you going to take over next week? Because he says he's winding down.
Next week. I don't think next week.
It'll be a while, but yeah.
Not till Tuesday anyway. Katie, good to see you, Gary.
Thank you very much.
Keep smiling.
As usual.
You're a good friend. Have a great day, kids.
Thanks, Calvin.
Thank you, too.
I'm all sweaty. I don't know too many people who go by 3 names. Melissa Monty Provost.
That was not popular when I did that 25 years ago.
This guy just goes by the name of George, so why would he
I'm just a George.
He wouldn't.
No, I don't need anything else. She tells me I'm number 1 all the time.
George, who wrote this?
Not me, you can tell that.
And not me. No, I don't know. Some kind girl when we
nice
checked
lady
in.
up at the front desk. And
Really?
Yep.
It's great to see you guys.
Well, I always love seeing you guys when you're out and
What's
about.
going on at Country Dream Farms? Do you know how many times a week I mention the name of that place?
I have no
You
idea.
guys should have been multi-millionaires a long time ago.
Every time you say it, you should say it to the people that you're saying it to. Give me $1 for mentioning that.
there you go.
They give you 50 cents. Yeah, I know,
exactly. If you gave us 50 cents on the dollar.
It's a wonderful place. And how's it going out there?
Well, of course, because of the weather, we're a month behind the 8 ball like everybody else is. It depends on the weather. But our corn will go in this weekend, and our pumpkins will go in, and corn maze pumpkin patch this fall, September and October. And Gordy's going to be there some weekend doing ghost stories for us.
She's pinning me down, isn't she?
I am.
Get pinned down.
But you got to know that I offered to do this
You did.
a long time ago.
And we just couldn't get our ducks in a line.
It'll be a big bonfire. Just don't do it tonight.
We've got all the wood cut and everything.
There's going to be a big bonfire, and Gordy's going to be there, and we're going to be making s'mores. Could it get any better than that?
I don't know how many people have watched all of the programs that Calvin and I have done over the last 14 years, but a couple have been at your place, and one was with Calvin showing the stars and his feet
and his toes. Yep, that was a good one.
And do you know that is the most talked about show when someone sees us in public? They're like, what happened to Calvin that day? It's without fail. Everybody wants to know what happened to poor Calvin. And did he survive it? I mean, they know he did, but...
Well, he looks fairly normal from here, and he's only 2 feet away. That was a very interesting day. Somebody else mentioned last week Gordy, did you see the show that was on television where they took Zeffie Newell's whole barn? I said, yeah. I saw it from the back seat of Melissa's father's truck.
Yep, chattering all the while that I was doing.
He was so afraid state police were going to stop him giving a ticket. State police went by and they said,
They waved.
"Just give him a big wave."
Yep, they didn't want to be bothered with us.
So what did you ever do with that little barn there, George?
That's our blacksmith shop now. We did blacksmithing demonstrations this morning for Rouse's Point. We had
There was like 36 kids and
third or fourth graders.
Yeah, something like that.
Somebody the other day was looking for a blacksmith to help him teach. I don't know if it was CV Tech or somewhere. I said, call George.
There you
He's
go.
the man.
You got to call Melissa. She's my manager.
Oh, I'm the manager. I'm glad to know that.
She does all my appointments.
Anything big planned?
Corn maze and pumpkin patch right now. That's it. That's
It's
about
hard.
all we can bite off right
It's
now.
hard, people. All farmers have been having a hard time. I put my garden in on Friday the 13th of May.
Wow.
And thank goodness we didn't have any frost.
Yeah.
The only thing I worry about is the woodchucks come at night and eat all the little green things.
Oh, of course, yeah.
We have chickens that do that to mine.
Chickens?
Yeah. Yeah. And I scoot at them whenever I can get them out of the, when I catch them, I get them out of the garden. But we have chickens that come and get in the garden.
And believe it or not, the garden is so dry now, the chickens go in there and take a dust bath. They dig a hole.
I got to water my garden tonight if we don't get any rain today.
I know all about it. Story of my life with my little crop strip. Well, you know what, Melissa, you and I talked. Even when you first had this idea, you weren't around yet, were you, George?
Probably not. I wasn't smart enough to run.
Of the Country Dreams Farm. And I raved about it in the beginning.
Right.
And it's been a real challenge for you to accomplish all of your dreams.
Well, because my dreams are too big. There's never a moment of boredom in my life.
But you've touched a lot of lives there.
We have.
You both have done a magnificent job. People, every time we see a pair of horses working somewhere, or still see an old cultivator or a dump rake, or
Sitting up on a hedgerow, you think about us, huh?
Yep, give us a
Every
call.
time I go down toward Westville on 122 toward Malone, I see all that stuff. I say, I gotta call George. I gotta call George.
Well, the Amish out there probably already have it.
They probably do. You know what? It's great to talk to both
Well,
of you.
it's good to see you guys too.
Always.
Good to see you, Gordy.
I even got to sign my book for Melissa.
That's you did.
It's about time. You carried
So
it
I'm
in
going
a
to get
purse
on
all this
Facebook
time.
tonight. Country Dreams Farm has a Facebook too, and I'm going to pin you down for a date for ghost stories at the farm this fall.
I know you will. I'll mark it on the
She'll do
calendar.
it.
Alrighty.
See you later, kids.
Take care.
You're the
Take care,
best.
Gordy. Have a good one, bud.
Bye-bye.
You really should wait for the manager. You get much better story,
Tommy
I'm
Howard,
sure.
you're the boss. We know who's the boss.
Yeah,
of this
right.
cotton picking outfit. How you been?
Good. Yourself?
I've been great.
Good.
Calvin was reminding me again about his relationship with your late father-in-law.
Yeah.
His first boss at Sheridan, right?
Yeah.
That was how many years ago? Ha ha ha.
45.
Come on. 45 years
And
ago.
I can remember when he passed away, your father coming down personally to stand in the road in the morning for the funeral. At 5 o'clock in the morning. So that's.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So what's going on, my friend?
Not much. We're just here trying to get our name out and give us a little. H&R Block's had a lot of national presence, but sometimes we haven't given the local people the attention we should. So we thought we'd get here and say hello and meet a few people.
Is this the first year at the Expo?
Yes.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these people we've interviewed already have been here 20, 18 years,
Yeah.
23 years.
No.
First year for
This-
H&R Block.
Yes.
I have known so many people who work for H&R Block over the years, retired Air Force
Yeah.
people.
Mm-hmm. That's some of our main people, Artis Brown and Don Buer and Pat Andrews. I've had a good share of the people are retired military.
Is it that well, how long have you been with this outfit?
15. No, 16.
Come on.
Yeah.
Is that possible?
It is.
And you want me to talk to somebody else? Come on.
That's,
For the benefit of people who have no idea what H&R Block is, tell us a little about it.
well, basically, H&R Block is the country's biggest income tax preparation firm. Started in 1955 by two guys in Kansas City, Henry and Richard Block, and has turned into, as I said, the biggest firm in the country. We're sort of ahead of the curve in the Last year, the IRS started that you had to file, the tax preparers now have to register, take education courses, be certified. The IRS requirements are less than H&R Block has required the last 10 years. So we're sort of ahead of the curve there. We offer year-round service where, the offices are open year-round. If you have a problem, if you have a question, that's what we're here for.
You've been ahead of the curve for years and years and years. It's always great to talk to you, my friend.
Oh, thank you. Nice talking to you.
Best of luck. Make some money today, will you?
Okay.
See you later,
Thanks.
Tommy.
Thank you.
You too,
Say hello to
buddy.
Kay.
We'll do it.
Thank you.
A million stories and the naked city. Well, maybe not the naked city, but the wonderful Business Expo 2011 in June on a very warm day. See all the people fanning themselves with whatever is available. Some of the venues here, the 168 or so, had real fans. Nobody with bona fide air conditioning. But it's been a wonderful day, as it always is for Calvin and me, to visit new people whom we've never seen before, and to chat with some of our old friends who've been to every one of these expos since the very first one 23 years ago. Life is good here in the North Country, and it's always good at Hometown Cable when we go to the Business Expo. Our special thanks to Jody, to Gary Douglas, and all the staff at the Plattsburgh North Country Chamber of Commerce, who have done so many terrific things to promote this area, and it shows. Our special thanks to all the businessmen and women and children and grandmothers and everybody whom we've talked to today. We always have to apologize that we weren't able to visit everyone in the place. But you get an idea how absolutely terrific this place is by seeing the people who've run these businesses, many of them for 50, 60, 70 years. Thank you so much for smiling on us by watching this program. We always appreciate your comments and suggestions. And if you'd like to write a big check, by all means, send it to Hometown Cable in care of Calvin Castine on the Ridge Road in Champlain. And who knows where we're going to be next time for our little corner.